Hi, we're the Daltons. I'm Stephanie Dalton. This is Hannah. She's 17 and she's a senior. And this is Josiah. He's 16 and he's a freshman. And Shekinah's 13 and she's in 8th grade. They go to College Heights Christian Church and College Heights Christian School here, and so they're going to need to be running along here pretty quick, but I'll chat with you for a while. We had just went shopping and we came home and put the groceries away, and all of us kind of scattered in the house. It was Sunday afternoon, and we didn't even know that it was going to be storming that day. I went to the living room and sat down and took a little nap, and my oldest daughter came in and said that the tornado sirens were going off. About 10 minutes later, a second siren went off, and that never happens. I've never heard them go off twice, so I told the kids to get straight downstairs. As I was walking around upstairs, I saw outside went pitch black, and I hollered down to the teens. I said, it just went pitch black outside, and as I said the word black, I heard the storm. I turned and ran down the stairs, and before I could even get all the way downstairs, the house was shaking, and the door to the room I was going to go in, it was a little closet, little pressboard wood closet under the staircase, was shaking. I slammed the door shut and pressed my foot against the staircase and leaned over my kids, and we all just prayed. You know, it was interesting. Simultaneously, while praying for God's protection, I wondered what was going to happen. It was so chaotic, and just your mind is racing, and but we all just huddled and prayed, and I heard the glass breaking, and I heard the beam snapping, and I heard the metal grinding, which is the sound that stays with me most. I knew that the house had lifted off. I knew the house was gone because my 3 children were huddled forward at me, and I could see behind them was rain falling in down the concrete behind their heads. So I knew there was no house above us. And for a few seconds, it quieted, but it wasn't done. It was just a little eye, and it kind of sounded like maybe it was going to trail off for a second there, but then the violence came back again, just as strong as it was the first time, and the first section, I believe, lasted around 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, and I knew we had that long to go through again. So by this point, we didn't have a house over us, and we didn't have any protection over us, and knowing that we had to go this far again, I just quickly assessed the situation and felt like I needed to tell my kids, you know, goodbye. And so, you know, I just said, I'll see you soon. I'm going to see you guys again. And, you know, it was extremely violent. The sounds were extremely violent right above us. And it just is miraculous that we're here. But we prayed for those next 2 minutes or however long that lasted, and we huddled and took a deep breath. The sounds started diminishing and going away, and honestly, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that we had just lived through that. And I think the biggest thought that sticks with me is I kept thinking 10 minutes ago, just 10 minutes ago, everything was fine. 10 minutes ago, I didn't know it was supposed to be stormy. 10 minutes ago, nobody was dead, nobody was hurt, nobody was yelling, no one was, you know, everyone was cooking supper or reading a book. And it's just amazing in that short period of time how much things changed for Joplin. We stayed in the basement for a bit. And I walked out a little bit. 3 times I walked out while my senses raced to catch up with each other, and I looked out and could not believe the devastation. Everything was just absolutely flattened. And we finally left the house and walked out and praised God that we lived through this. Just a testimony in that is, I lost my husband about 12 years ago to melanoma. And once I realized the kids were all safe and we were all there, I turned and I looked at my house and I just said, if there was just one thing that I could get, one thing that I could grab, it would be pictures. It was about an hour in and I saw these two big guys walk by, and I knew in my living room where I had these 2 big boxes of pictures sitting. And this brick wall was just laying on top of where they would be. And, you know, my furniture was all over my backyard and in other people's yards. And so I didn't know if they would still be there or not. But I had these 2 guys lift up this huge brick wall chunk of our brick wall, and right underneath them were these 2 huge boxes of pictures just full of Troy and the kids, and just very personal for God to do that for us. And for the one thing, you know, that I asked for the Lord, it was torrential rain after the storm, torrential. And God kept them. Not one drop of water was on any of the pictures, on the boxes or anything, because that brick wall just laid just flat right over them. And so, huge blessing. So God's been in this whole thing. He's always with us. He's always provided for us. He's always been a great husband. He's always been a wonderful father, and he's as tangible a husband as I can have without skin. I've said that for years, and he is just ever present, and I know he's got us in his hand. And I thank you for coming and meeting with me, and thank you for listening to the heart of God. And I'm really excited in whatever capacity that means that we get to link together. So, and that's all.